Hello everybody, welcome back to another news video. Now in this video we'll be talking the latest of Manchester United, giving you the latest news. We'll be talking about Ten Hag decision made, we're talking about AMRABAT latest and much more. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So Manchester United over the past few days, obviously since yesterday as well, been really excited about the FA Cup news, and that's been fantastic. It was a great result. Great win by Manchester United, but there had been some transfer news now. It was coming in a few hours ago that Manchester United will make a decision on Erik Ten Hag's future based on the whole 2-year tenure at Manchester United, and not just the FA Cup final. Now, listen, let's weigh up the positives that Erik Ten Hag has brought us at Manchester United. I think that's the way to go about it. Positives first, then negatives, and then an overall conclusion. So the positives, Erik Ten Hag at Manchester United: 2 trophies in 2 years. That's not being spoken about enough. With Arteta winning 1 in 4 years, the fact that Erik Ten Hag has brought back-to-back trophies at Manchester United, where we've had a 6-year trophy drought, is fantastic. Yes, they're not the trophies that you want to win. Yes, they're not the Premier League, the Champions League, but they are certainly trophies. And with football being a results business games, getting trophies is all that matters really, and when it comes down to it. And I think there's been progression in that. You look at last season, people criticised us about getting not cheap, but easy draws at home all the time in the Carabao Cup. This time in the FA Cup, we played some really tough teams. Yes, Coventry, it was tough. So it was a lower team. We were expected to beat them. But ultimately, coming up against Manchester City in the final, Liverpool as well, it was a great running, and I think Manchester United thoroughly deserve to get that trophy on their hands. I think the performance, the consistency from start to finish was brilliant. We thoroughly deserve to win that trophy. You look at Erik Ten Hag, Manchester United, he's the guy that won us that trophy, and that's all he's talked about. He's talked about him being here for the project. And I think he deserves at least 1 more year to show what he can do. If he gets us another trophy, and we see progression in the way that we play football, then I think he deserves to stay. I mean, you can certainly see the developments in which we played football against Manchester City. It was fantastic. We were moving the ball with such confidence, and I think the big games, Erik Ten Hag has done fairly well. Yes, we've had some big losses, but when it comes to it, particularly this season, 0-0 Liverpool. Yes, we lost both City games, but 2-2 Anfield, beating Manchester City in the FA Cup final. There's a lot of positives to take from that. And you look at Erik Ten Hag, he is slowly starting to build an identity. He said when he first came into Manchester United, it was a mess, and we knew that from the outside. Inside, it was probably way worse than it was. He's had some big decisions to be made, some big sagas to look out for, and ultimately I think he's done a fantastic job in handling those. You look at some other positives, the development of young academy players. You see Cambuala coming through, Garnacho, Kobbie Mainoo, Collier, a young midfielder who's been involved in the squad. He's given minutes to Hannibal, Mabry, Ahmad as well. Erik Ten Hag is someone who loves to develop the youth, and that's something that Manchester United are being found upon. And I think if you look at Erik Ten Hag, he managed to he managed the youngsters so well. We look at the development of Kobbie Mainoo, who had a big injury before the season started, and since he's come in, he's been an integral part of Manchester United's team, starting every game that he possibly can be, and he's been a key part of our team. He's been an undroppable player, scoring goals, scoring some big goals this season, winning us the game against Wolves, playing a big part in that game against Manchester City. I think he was absolutely fantastic, and a true credit to him, and I think Erik Ten Hag deserves praise for that. As well as Garnacho, a young player, but he was fully the player that he brought in from the start last season, and this season has been true growth by Garnacho, and he has been brilliant. Maybe look at the negatives. He's had some big losses, 7-0 to Liverpool, 4-0 Brentford. Yes, that was last season. This season we probably haven't had too many, maybe 4-0 Crystal Palace, and that's probably about it. But I do certainly think there has been true development under Erik Ten Hag from last season to this season. Yes, in the Premier League we have gone down 5 places. But if you look at the performances we've put in, they probably have gone down. But I think if you look at us winning the trophy in the football. And listen, we've had a lot of injuries, and that's something that's going to be talked about. That's something that has had to be talked about, because you can't expect a manager to win loads of stuff with injuries. The amount of injuries that we had, and this is not an excuse, but having your first two centre backs not available, we've seen what a difference that made in the FA Cup final. Not having a left back available the whole season. Like, it is relatively tough. Having over 15 different centre back partnerships is not going to be easy to kind of form a basis. You need consistency in teams, and ultimately we didn't have that. So listen, my stance has been clear. I would give Eric, now the season finished and we can fully assess it, I would give Eric Ten Hag another season, see what he can do, give him that chance that he hasn't been given. He's won 2 trophies in back-to-back seasons, more than Arteta has in 4 years. And yes, Arsenal are ahead of us, but ultimately the trophy is what that counts. And 2 great finals that we played, Newcastle, Manchester City, great performances, and there's been some very, very good positives to take. So for me, I'd keep Ten Hag. Next thing I want to talk about, Sofran Amrabat. Now, after a resurgence of his performances over the past 4 or 5 games, many Manchester United fans have called out for Sofran Amrabat to stay. Now, he's coming in from a Dutch outlet. Sofran Amrabat quotes himself. He's going to talk with Manchester United. He's going to see if they would like him to stay at the club. And he wants to stay at Manchester United. He said, who would not want to stay at Manchester United? Now, you look at Amrabat, maybe 5 weeks ago, everyone couldn't wait for Amrabat to leave Manchester United, if I'm honest with you. Me being one of them as well. But I think the quality of his performances, if Casemiro is going to leave the club, and it's very likely that he will, maybe getting Amrabat in for 15-20 million may not be the worst deal possible. I think Amrabat, if you give him consistent 90 minutes, he can show us what he's about. He's had an injury-ridden season as well, played at left-back for moments, hasn't got the correct partnership, but I think the balance between Kobe and Amrabat is fantastic. And I think Amrabat just understands the game so well. His performance yesterday was fantastic in the last few games that he's played as well. He's just been so colossal. He's physical, he knows how to get around the pitch, and he understands what it is. So I think going into next season, if we certainly do need a number 6, I wouldn't be opposed to signing Amrabat, and I think that's something that could well be on the cards to happen. I think many Manchester United fans have had their say on that deal, and I do think that's something that should happen. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This has been the latest news video talking about Eric Ten Hag and Manchester United. Check out the 5 things we learned from the Manchester City game as well on the channel. We talked about Ten Hag staying as well in a different video. So yeah, check them out. Drop a like, comment, subscribe as well, and most importantly, we're on the road to 2.1k subscribers. And let me know which videos you want to see. The season's complete, so we'll be doing all the topic videos, season ratings, and much more. So thanks for watching, and peace.